Hello, everyone. Here's your weather hazard briefing for Sunday, October 23rd. We still got some snow showers with our storm system over us today. There'll be some gusty winds, not as breezy as the past couple of days. Outside of the east and southeast highlands, where we continue for a winter storm warning into this afternoon and this evening, where we'll see another 1 to 4 inches above 7,000 feet. Light accumulations expected today. Looking across the Snake Plain, we're going to have one or more bands of snow setting up across that part of eastern Idaho for today. Now, we do have a break in the precipitation overnight. That's going to allow us to be pretty cold tomorrow morning, likely the coldest morning we've seen so far this fall. But we've got more chilly weather and more precipitation. Most of it will be in the form of snow, although in the lower elevations we might see a little bit of a mix at times depending on when precipitation falls during the day. Satellite shows that storm over us this morning, moisture lifting north and east on the front side of that system. As we go through the day and the low shifts slowly to the east, and we get some little bit of heating today, not much of the heating, that's kind of a misnomer. As we warm up a few degrees, we'll get some showers going later on today. The weather risk outlook. Most areas seeing some minimal impacts, some minor impacts due to snow showers and breezy conditions, but we still continue, at least for this morning, across Limhi County with a winter storm warning, and the eastern and southeast highlands into the morning and afternoon hours, depending on where you are in that part of the state, whether you're in the eastern or southeast highlands. For most of the day tomorrow, we're not going to see much in the way of precipitation. Late tomorrow evening, we have a band of precipitation quickly racing through. That will shift eastward into Tuesday. Tuesday morning, we might see some impacts, a little more impacts over the higher elevations with the snow going through. Not much with this system, maybe a few light snow showers, very light accumulations of snow late Monday night, Tuesday morning for the Snake Plain. Our better chance of seeing impactful weather will be on Wednesday. Snow with a little bit of rain mixing in the afternoon over the Snake Plain. Otherwise, it will be breezy across the region. And then we see some lingering showers, especially in the morning hours, except east of I-15, where some of those showers will last into the afternoon hours across the region with that particular storm system moving through. Now, looking at where things are going today, right now this morning we don't have very heavy snow going on. We've got a few pockets of very, very light snow from Pocatello up through the Idaho Falls area, especially in the benches, and a few pockets of very light snow flurries across portions of the Snake Plain into the southeast highlands. Going into later on this morning, we start to see a band of light snow trying to solidify across the portions of the upper Snake Plain. Most of the models are indicating that. We have a few models that aren't. And honestly, for today, with any banding that across the Snake Plain, that includes the upper plain down through Pocatello, down towards the Magic Valley, the potential of getting in accumulations and anything from a dusting to less than an inch is only about 50 to 60%, a little bit higher along the bench areas. The potential of seeing it over an inch with any of this banding is only about 25 to 30%. It'll be higher on the highest bench areas from basically around American Falls, Coldwater, up through Rexburg. Might get an inch or two on the very highest benches, but again, not much across the Snake Plain for today if you're looking for snow in those areas. But like we said, as we go into this afternoon, any of this banding starts to overall shift to the south and to the west. More snow showers developing over the central mountains. And as we see right around 5 to 6 o'clock, we'll see a couple of bands pushing maybe as far west as Burley to Shoshone. A little more snow activity from basically Pocatello up through Rexburg over into the Teton Valley. Again, not necessarily widespread, but some showers that will be ongoing. We go into this evening, that whatever's out there will be mostly over by midnight. I'd certainly say by 2 to 3 in the morning, it looks like we should be pretty much done with any snowfall with this storm coming through. And like I said, tomorrow morning with it clearing out, it's going to be a pretty cold morning across central and eastern Idaho. For that snow for the rest of the day, not much in the way of accumulation. Some of the higher elevations seeing an inch or two. The big holes seeing a little bit more, and certainly the Tetons looking in excess of 4 inches. And again, we talked about light snow trying to accumulate from the Snake Plain across the Snake Plain. Any real risk of seeing anything more than the dusting, basically from craters down to around Sweetser Summit. That would include Coldwater, American Falls, and the Pocatello area. And those winds, They'll start turning more northwesterly area-wide, but except down into portions of the Treasure Valley, Magic Valley, and the South Hills, they'll be more westerly, initially trying to turn to the west, to the northwest and northwest this afternoon. Those areas will see gusts in excess of 30 miles per hour. Elsewhere, about 20 to 30 mile an hour gusts. And I think the only area we're going to have to worry about blowing snow is those higher elevations, because it's been colder and that snow that's up there has been around a little bit longer. For highs today, not looking at anyone getting out of the 40s. If you're up in the mountains, it's going to be in the 20s and 30s for this afternoon, temperature-wise. For this evening and overnight, not much in the way of snowfall, maybe a few light snow showers across the central mountains, the Continental Divide. Most of it will be along and east of I-15 this evening until, again, right after midnight. Winds continuing, especially early in the evening. In similar areas, we had those stronger wind gusts around 25 to 35 miles an hour, but they'll quickly be weakening as we go into the overnight hours once we get past sunset. For tomorrow afternoon, not much in the way of precipitation, but it will be breezy. The strongest winds over the Snake Plain, gusting 25 to 35 miles per hour. With that cold start in the morning, and when we mean by cold, it's going to be in the teens and 20s in the lower elevations, likely the coldest morning for most of us so far this season. The colder spots in the Stanley Basin and Copper Basin around 0 to 10 below 0 in the morning. Temperature-wise, within a degree or two tomorrow afternoon when you compare it to what we're seeing for today. That system coming through Monday night into Tuesday, there'll be some wind, not necessarily a lot of impacts from blowing and drifting snow in the mountains. Most of the accumulations will be across the Sawtooth, where we'll see about 1 to 4 inches of snow, maybe a little bit higher on the highest peaks of the Sawtooth. Also, the big holes into the Tetons, we're talking about 4 to 6 inches of snow, maybe a little higher in the higher elevations of the Tetons. Elsewhere, light accumulations, and you'll notice not much going across the Snake Plain with this storm system. Temperatures Tuesday morning with the clouds and the wind and what precipitation's out there. Basically, along the interstate corridor to the south and to the east will be at or just above freezing in the morning for Tuesday morning. Elsewhere, teens and 20s for morning lows. You'll notice maybe nobody getting into the 50s except maybe around Twin over towards Glenn's Ferry and Mountain Home. 30s and 40s if you're headed up to the mountains on Tuesday. There's that storm system coming through on Wednesday. Maybe some light accumulations for the Snake Plain. Idaho Falls, Rexburg might see over an inch of snow. Up towards Ashton Hill, a couple of inches. And again, these are some early numbers. Expect some of this to change, but the focus still looks like the Sawtooth. Right now, we're looking at 4 to 8 inches. The Bear River Range, maybe in excess of 6 to 8 inches. Also into the far eastern highlands, over into the big holes and Tetons. We're talking 6 to 12 inches of snow, especially on the higher peaks there, and also along the divide up around Island Park. We're looking at maybe 4 to 8 inches of snow there as well. But do expect these numbers to change. It's winter. These storm systems, they tend to change a lot when we're into the fall season. Some more variability than what you might see as we get later on into the winter. Temperature-wise on Wednesday, still some of us at or above freezing, but it's going to be a chilly day on Wednesday. Mid to maybe upper 40s for the warmest temperatures. Otherwise, 30s and 40s across the board on Wednesday. Clearing out for Thursday, another cold morning. Once again, teens and 20s in the lower elevations. The coldest spots 0 to 10 below, and temperatures not changing much from Wednesday to Thursday. So like we said, this cold spell is here for a while. Those warm temperatures we've been used to, not expecting those anytime soon. We still have snow around the area today, some light accumulations, some gusty winds. I think most of the snow accumulations, again, occur in the east and southeast highlands. We have a winter storm warning that's in effect there through this afternoon and this evening. Might see another 4 inches of snow on the highest elevations above 7,000 feet. Have a great Sunday. Stay safe out there, everyone.